Welcome, Vanessa. Great to have you here. We would like to start with a few sentences about Vanessa because I think many of you know her, but for the ones who don't know her, I would like to give a small introduction. And I think it speaks for Vanessa what she sorted her out as a song because she sorted out Imagine from John Lennon with the most important sentence, and imagine all the people living life in peace where the song envisions a utopian world free of barriers like borders, religion, and materialism, promoting harmony and unity among all humanity. And the ones who know Vanessa knows that Vanessa also had to break a lot of barriers. And the ones who know her knew that she did it with her female charm, but also with a lot of, with some of her values, like being consequent, being disciplined, being sustainable, and bringing it all together in challenging situations. I think this is something which is describing Vanessa very well. I would like to say a few words about her before we start with the questions. Vanessa is a prominent entrepreneur, speaker, and advocate for sustainable business practices. She's the CEO of Weber Werkzeug, so handcrafted products, a family-owned company specializing in tools and industrial equipment. And she has successfully modernized and expanded it. And known for her commitment to social responsibility, Vanessa actively promotes sustainable leadership, diversity, and innovation in business. And this is not something which she does because it is something where she thinks that this is something which gives her a good reputation. It is something which she does by heart. And you think you feel it when you when you see her. And she's also a thought after keynote speaker, inspiring audiences with her insights and her entrepreneurship and her passion for fostering a balance between economic success and ecological responsibility, which is not easy in nowadays times. Vanessa's work has earned her numerous awards, including recognition as one of Germany's top young leaders. Vanessa, I'm very happy to have you here. So I gave you a lot of honors beforehand.
Yes.
And I mean, you've chosen also the background, not just for accident. Sustainability is always around you, and this is one thing I like about you. And always when we see each other, it is so yes, it's so heartwarming because you're so real. You know what I mean, no? I mean, there are people which are not authentic. You are completely authentic and with a warm attitude. I wished we have more of this in the German economy.
Oh,
So,
thank you so much. That's nice.
so can you tell us about the moment you decided to take on the role of CEO at Weber Tools and how it felt to take on such a great responsibility?
Yeah, sure. I was only 22 years old when I took over the role of the managing director at our company, Werkzeug Weber. And it wasn't an easy moment. On the one hand, I felt immense pride in doing my family legacy. On the other, there was a huge responsibility on my shoulders. I vividly remember that the conversation with my father where he said, trust in your strength and do it on your way. That gave me the courage I needed. I felt like jumping into cold water, but I had a deep inner confidence that I was ready for that.
That's great. I think I wish that more parents say something like this, not only to their kids, but especially to their daughters, because we faced still
Mhm.
in Germany, but also abroad, family office or family companies where the daughters are not seen, are not visible for the parents, and are not planned to take over. And of course, it is about you that they saw that you are not only willing, but you can do it. So, what are some of the most important lessons you've learned from your family that you incorporate into your leadership style today?
My parents instilled values like respect, integrity, and perseverance from an early age of me. My father always said, treat your employees like your family, and it feels like that, and that deeply shaped me. Today, I see my role as a leader not only at making decisions, but also creating an environment where everyone can thrive through.
That's of course great. And I mean, treat your employees like family. That's a great quote. If we look in big companies, then we often miss this, where employees are just a number, or there are even employees which say, okay, they don't see me, they don't know about me. I can do whatever I want because I'm not important for them. And quite quitting is, of course, and often, unfortunately, a consequence. So, how can you, as a second generation leader, honor your family's legacy while forging your own path in the business world?
Honoring my family's legacy means respecting the values and tradition that built on our company. And at the same time, I realized early that I needed to thrive through innovations and secure the company's future. For instance, introducing new digital models like KI helped us tap into new markets and stay competitive. That's important.
That's great, how you did it. And I remember that you wrote an article about the elderly employees in the company, and it made a big wave because you wrote it in a very nice way, putting into account how hard it is for older ones maybe to adapt to new digital tools, but how you can help them or how you could help them. This is really great how empathic you are in feeling and but also doing going your way, right? And so what has been the most difficult decision you have had to make as a CEO, and how did you handle it emotionally?
Well, one of the hardest decisions was restructuring some departments during the economic crisis. It also go on. This impacted long-standing employees, which it was emotionally very challenging for me. I
Mm.
approached these conversations with much as empathy as possible and sought alternative solutions for support those efforts. It wasn't easy, but it's necessary.
I can imagine because when it feels like family members and you have to get rid of them, this is hard because you feel also for their families. I'm sure. Can you share a story from your childhood or early career that shaped your values as a leader?
Yes, a defining memory is watching my father in the workshop as a child, and no matter how stressful things goes on, he always had time to listen to his employees.
Right.
And those moments taught me that a leader is not only leading and also listening and understanding to the people. So that shows me a lot of about leadership.
That's important. I think often the people forget about it. They are just producing, but listening, giving feedback, is often, yeah, forgotten. So, how did the transition from being the next generation to leading the company impact your relationship with your family, both professionally but also personally?
It wasn't easy at first to separate professional and personal roles. My
Mm,
father had to learn to let go, and he did it very well, I have to say. And I had to find my own path. So I step into his footsteps and then I go my own way. So
mm.
over time, our relationship was deepening and we developed mutual respect and trust in each other. So my father trusted me from the first second on and gave me my wings to fly. And I'm I trust in myself and go on.
That's great because we often know that, of course, the people who owned the company and founded it, that company is not just a company, but also kind of baby, right?
Yes.
To hand it over and then don't say anything about what's happening now. This seems to be hard. I could imagine also on my own.
Yeah, yeah. He said always, if I do a mistake, he said, okay, you see, it works not like that, then you go to the other way. He never go with me in a discussion because of the mistake. He always said, okay, it's
Oh.
important to make mistakes.
Wow, that's great because I assume that many people would say, yes, I'm for a mistake culture, but especially in Germany, as soon as the mistake starts, it's
Yes,
over with this idea of mistake culture, right?
yes. But my father did it very well.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I mean, I imagine also a few pictures you published with you and your father. And you could see how proud he is of you, and you could also see that he has learned that freedom, your freedom, is the only thing, and your responsibility, that things go the way it should go, right? So,
Yes.
what emotional challenges did you face when leading Weber Tours through a significant change or crisis? And you just said, or you just told us about one. And how did you stay resilient?
During this challenging period, when the market was shifting rapidly, it was emotionally taxing to take entrepreneurial risks. My focus was on staying resilient by concentrating on solutions and positive thinking and seeking support from my team. Also, meditation, going still, and exercises helped me to maintain the balance. So, take me
Right.
out some time. It was important for me.
That's great that you're doing this because me on be my myself, I
Mhm.
know exactly that meditation helps a lot, but in situation where it's tricky or where I have a lot of things ongoing, I then sometimes forget about that.
So easy way is just take a step back and
Breathe.
yeah, just breathe for one moment, and this helps a lot in such moments.
You're so important. You're so right, because I think the small little things, this is often the solution. We don't need a machine,
Yeah.
a big exercise, a retreat, or whatever. We can have most of the things at home, right?
Yeah.
So, was there ever a moment when you doubted yourself on your journey as CEO, and how did you overcome those doubts?
Yeah, yes, of course. Especially at the beginning of my career, I often wondered if I could meet expectations. But through mentors who believed in me and by celebrating small successes that I had, I built the confidence to keep going. And I had a lot of mentors, and I can effort to everybody. Look for a mentor who helps you to come further, who reached already the goal you want to go, and talk to a lot of as you can and go networking. That helped me a lot to build my network and my leadership and everything I have.
That's of course great, because nowadays I think we have it much more, that mentors are available. A few years ago, it was quite pretty new, and it was not that easy to find some. Only if you had friends in your family, maybe, or something like that. But I'm happy that, and I think it was your initiative that you got them. And it's great that you were so forward thinking, because this is always a great support to have mentors which are checking things from a completely other angle, right?
Yeah, that's so important. And there are
So
a lot of people that will do if you ask them.
yeah, exactly. I think that if you ask them, a lot of people would be happy to do.
Yeah.
But we often think that asking for something is not good. The vice versa is it?
Yeah.
So, and this is the last question before we go into a small break. What is the biggest misconception people have about family business, particularly those led by women?
One common misconception in the family business lag is professionalism on what women in leadership role might struggle to make tough decisions. I worked hard to show that family business can be innovative, professionally run while bringing a human touch to leadership. Being a woman in traditionally male-dominated industry as mine has only strengthened my resolve to break stereotypes. And I hope this is a example for other women who go in a man's business and yeah, they will do it fine, I think.
Super important comment, and this brings us now. So we will hear now more from Vanessa Weber. And the ones who don't know her and just came here, she's a prominent entrepreneur, speaker, and advocate for sustainable business and practices. And very important to know, she's a CEO of Handcrafting Weber, a family-owned company specializing in tools and industrial equipment. So something which is typically more male-oriented from the past. And she took this over, she modernized it completely, and she's well known also for female entrepreneurship and support as well as sustainability. So, Vanessa, um, we talked before about family business before the break. Were there decisive moments as a woman in leadership where you felt you had to prove yourself? And how did you handle those situations?
Yes, there have been times when I felt need to prove that I belong into the room, especially in the industry dominated by men. But I handled those solutions by letting my results speak for themselves. Staying confident to prepared has always been my approach. So to be underestimated is not as bad as it sounds.
That's right, of course. Sometimes it could be much better, right?
Yeah, because you don't have to jump so high to go to the expectations. And so you can use this. It's not a bad thing, it's a positive thing if you think like that.
That's right, and I think it's a very nice and charming way of saying that women can do the same or as good as men. I mean, in a different way, but that it's not about men and women. It's just about the human, right? And
Yeah,
I mean, for me, it was always also that I never wanted to be taken or be awarded because I'm a woman. I
yeah,
wanted to be awarded or taken because I'm good. And
yes.
I think you were similar.
Mm,
And of course, standing in a company and a branch which is known for men, for just everything what you combine with male, this is not easy. So really impressive. So,
thank you.
um, and was there a turning point when you realized that a woman in leadership can inspire others, so that you looked above, and can you recall a specific experience that brought this realization?
Yeah, a pivotal moment was when a young woman approached to me after a talk I gave on the stage and told me how much my journey inspired her to pursue her own leadership ambitions. And that interaction re-affected me. My belief that representation matters, that my story can motivate others, that motivates me to do these speeches because I see that women need a positive role model and go for that. And I always tell them, if I can do that, you can do it easily because I studied nothing. I was a very young woman, 18 years old, blonde hair, blue eyes. No one said anything could do this. So I do it like we know Pippi Langstrumpf. She said that's a German word. I never tried this before, so I let's do this. So and I live always like this.
That's great how you describe that, because I think sometimes we are having too many things in mind before we start with something. And I think this hinders also many people from starting an entrepreneurship because they find so many things against what could be happen. And I think especially women are very good in that, that they find things they have to doubt about. And so it's great that you give young women with you a kind of role model where they could be really happy to have you. And I think it's also nowadays that we have it much more that young women understand that it's important to look at others to get some ideas. First, I think you, me, in our childhood, we were looking for role models. We were looking for ideas, what we could do in our life, and having and seeing more of that, of the chances you can realize. It's absolutely important. Great that you are doing this, Vanessa.
Yeah. And you
And
too. We both.
yeah, that's right. I think we're really so sisters with and that also in that because same to me. From the first moment where I saw or where I had the idea that somebody said you're a role model for me, I felt not like, and I think you were the same, like, oh,
Yeah.
great, oh, great.
Yeah.
But more like, okay, that's my role,
Yeah.
and I would take it.
Yeah.
And I would like to give as many as a chance to use this to make them their path maybe also a bit easier than our own path was, right?
That's right. That's true.
Yeah. So I think it's super important to look at this that we have this role models and support. And on the other hand, I mean, you said, and that's something what I like also, that it is not about being a woman. It is about being somebody who just do quality work, right? So, what personal qualities do you think are essential for women to succeed in entrepreneurial and leadership roles? So, forgive me for this question, especially in traditionally male-dominated industries.
I would say it's resilience, empathy, and the ability to communicate effectively as are essential qualities that women have. Women often bring a unique perspective to
Yeah.
leadership, and embracing that rather than confirmation on traditional norms is a key to success. So we can hear more, we feel more, and especially for leadership, I think that are skills that men often miss. Sorry for saying that. And so that's a plus for us. Checkbox.
Yes, you're so right. And by having said about not just human, I think it's important that we understand what our potential is and also our differences are, and that we as women unfold our potential. And I mean, I remember that somebody said if there would be more women in in the decisive roles, then we would have more peace.
Yeah, I
And I
believe
mean,
that.
yeah, and I mean, I think you and me, we know also women which are bitchy, which are, yeah, really in a way where you would think, okay, not with her.
Yes.
But what you said, I completely tick with everything you said, because I think we as a women, having kids or not, but we have it and we are taking more the how I say we're taking more care of the people. We have more the whole
Yeah.
organization on, and it's less about us to just celebrate us. It is more about celebrating the common team. And I think this is something which is really typical female that we have another view on the things where men often have this view and
Yeah. Yes, you're right.
and are very self-aware, like,
Yeah.
yes, I go there. Yes, I get there. Okay, where it is? What is it? No matter what, I get there.
Yeah. Where's the team?
Exactly, do it. I have no clue of that, but
Yeah.
somebody gets it. Where we as women just asking ourselves, okay, do I get it? Am I qualified enough? Are there any things which I have to learn beforehand? And I think your sample is a good sample also that it's sometimes a cold water, which is important because it helps us that we understand that risk taking is the chance to get into it. It's not the warm water which helps us growing.
Yeah.
And I mean, what you described, I also faced it by myself. It is the challenging situation you learn from, right?
Yes, yes.
So, can you describe a moment when you felt deep pride in the company, perhaps during a major project or milestone? What emotions did that evoke?
One of my proudest moments was when we successfully transitioned to a more sustainable business model. And it was a team effort that shows me how much we can achieve when everyone is aligned with a common goal. It evoked feelings of pride, gratitude, and a hope for the future.
Right. And as you describe, I like it that you said it was a team effort.
It was. It is always a team effort. So I think no one can fight a war alone. So you need to have people with you always. And with a
Yeah.
good team, you can do anything. And I think it's important that you go on the same vision
Yeah.
and then you can achieve goals. Well, meanwhile, it's a hard way, but I think it's the only right way.
I think so too. And how do you maintain and protect your emotional well-being as a CEO, especially given the high demands of leading a family business? Because I assume that there might be really, yeah, tricky situations.
Yeah, maintaining balance is crucial. I prioritize self-care through activities like yoga and spending quality time with my family. That's very, very important for me. My family gives me a lot of energy.
Right.
Having a strong supportive network and friends also help me to navigate to these challenging leadership situations. It's good if you can talk with others who in the same role.
Yeah, that's great. Sorry, my dog was just barking. He's always in the defending role. So if there is a sound, he feels responsible. So, what role does empathy play in your decision-making process? And can you give an example where empathy led to a key decision?
Empathy is at the core of my leadership style. For example, during a challenging period, I implemented flexible work policies to support employees facing personal difficulties. Like for their parents, for their children, everything has its own story. This decision not only helped my team, but also furthered a stronger sense of loyalty and trust within the company. So I think it's important.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. And family businesses often have complex dynamics. Can you share a story about a time when family members disagreed on a business matter and how you handled it emotionally?
Yeah, there was a time when we disagreed on a direction of a major investment. Emotions run high, but we resolved it by focusing on the shared vision of the company and to engage in open, respectful discussion. It's not always easy. It taught me the importance of patience and listening. And the advice on this path is if you need help from outside when you have complicated family situations, then it's fully okay to take an external help for mentoring and solve this situation.
Yeah.
We never need it as ourselves, but I see a lot of stories when I talk to the next generation, so that the family conflicts are very tough. So I think it can help if you have some who mediate the situation.
Yes, exactly. I can I can also think that it can be very, very tough. Um, So family businesses often have complex dynamics, and you already shared with us that your father gave you a lot of freedom. But can you share a story about a time when family members disagreed on a business matter and how you handled it emotionally?
Um, Yeah, I think it was that what I said right now. So I think it's important to stay calm and not to go into the emotions and maybe the father-daughter situation or something like that, or the brother-sister situation. You are in the professional role at this moment, and you have to stay in this role and discuss and focus on the solution.
Yeah. So, have you ever experienced burnout? I mean, it's a very sensitive topic, I know. And if you don't want to say something about this, I'm fine. But if so, how did you recognize it and regain your balance?
Yes, I love to talk about that topic also because I think it's very
Okay.
important to tell the people that not every day the sun is shining in business, and it's totally okay to be not okay sometimes. And I have experienced somehow a little burnout. I recognize it when I start feeling physically and emotionally drained, so in a hard time. So To recover, I took a step back, delegated responsibilities very soon, and make self-care as a priority. It was a valuable lesson for me, importance of setting boundaries. And I took a time out for 2.5 months to travel
Wow.
around the world.
Wow, great.
And yeah, it was a good time for get out of the situation and then give the responsibility to my team, and they take the responsibility. And as I came back, they said, we it was
You can stay
fully
longer
okay
away.
that you are not there. Everything reached well. It goes up like this. And so I was very happy. And at this moment, I was not more in the Hamsterrad, we say it in Germany.
Exactly. Not in the hamster
And
wheel.
yeah, and I can now more work on the company, not in the company. So that was the result of this little burnout.
So, I think a great learnings, right? So, looking back on your career, what moment stand out as the one where you felt you truly made a difference, not just for the company, but also for the people around you?
Moment that stands out when I launched the Foundation of Education and Sustainability, knowing that we're making a tangible impact in the community is incredible, fulfilling, and reinforce why I do what I do. Through in this initiative, we've been able to found projects and provide children and young people with access to better educational opportunities while accessing climate-related issues. I remember one visited of our supported schools. We are working with kids from the age from 9 till 14 years,
Yeah,
and they learned to speak out their thoughts. And this is for me very the best impact that we can give in the world, to give them how to learn to talk and to take action against what they don't want to have in a very young age. So and we plant trees all over Germany, and that's for me something that I can do out of the company
yeah.
because my company is well. So that's for me very good feeling that I can give something back on this.
That's great. Vanessa, I would have so many more questions to you. And I just would like to close with the quote from you. You're saying your ultimate vision is to be a leader in innovation and sustainability while staying true to our core values, and that you hope future generations remember you as someone who not only grew the business, but also left a positive impact on society. And I think that speaks for you, but this is also just, yeah, it's just Vanessa, right?
Yes.
Because it's totally authentic, and everybody who knows you knows that it's truly yours. So thank you so much for being in our radio show. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you at Gipfeltreffen der
Yeah.
Weltmarktführer. For the ones which are not German, this is the event of the year where all the hidden champions in Germany, and we have some
Yeah.
coming together, all
Yes.
the great wealthy companies which are making money, and you have ever never known their name, right?
Yes, that's often like that because I always said, go out and speak about it's so important that the people know us. Yeah.
Exactly. It is super important. So thank you very much to being with
Thank
here
you,
with us now.
Annabelle.